Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Indigo Diamond here with another video, here to talk about the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the world. Before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and tell me down below who you're rooting for, because I'm sure a lot of people have had to change who they're rooting for twice in a row now. Yeah, it's been an interesting week, so let's get into it. So today's maxi challenge was Snatch Game. Love a bit of Snatch Game. It's one thing that I looking forward to. It's the one thing I look forward to every season. I mean, you know, you always get the queens that do well, the queens that bomb. It's usually one or the other. You don't really tend to get people that kind of do middle of the road. It's kind of like you were good or you were bad. So, let's get into the episode. So we had a very shocking elimination for this episode. My front runner, and I think a lot of people's front runners, was sent home, which was a very controversial decision to a lot of people. For me, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the queens have the option to send home any of the bottom queens. This queen was in the bottom. She was strong competition. She got sent home. It is what it is. There's no need to send hate to Blu for sending her home. You know, at the end of the day, Blu made a choice. It is what it is. In fact, I think Blu's now the person I'm rooting for to win out of the remaining 5. And, you know, I know people say, oh, you should go by, you know, who was worse in the challenge or track record and stuff like that. There are no rules. The rules are the queens get to pick someone to go home. That's who was picked to go home. End of. I will put over this side some of the expressions from some of the people from when it was announced that Pangina was being sent home. It was quite the gag to pretty much everyone. You have Michelle looking like she's like, oh god, no, this is going to be horrible. RuPaul just looking really shocked. And I believe is there one like Mo where she's like grabbing, is it Janey she's grabbing? That's quite funny. So I'll put those up here for a few seconds, just while, just before we go on to talking about things, which is about now. So, oh, actually, let's talk about Snatch Game, because they changed it up a little bit this time. So we had Snatch Game, but it was like Family Fortune style. So you had 2 teams. You had a team captain and then like 3 queens on each team. So you had Katie Price and Michelle Visage. I love that. I love it when Michelle gets to engage in the challenges. I kind of wish Michelle would come into the acting challenges. Like, I love her on Snatch Game because it's just nice to see her there. I love her doing the musical challenges just because, you know, she was in a girl group. She's got an amazing singing voice. I think it's perfect to have her come in and it gives her that sort of like extra bit of time with the queens as well, I feel, that she doesn't necessarily get, whereas RuPaul does, because obviously RuPaul goes in the workroom and things like that. So it's just kind of, it's nice to have that like little bit extra. And I would just love to see her in the acting challenges. I think she'd be great, a great addition. So, you know, future thoughts. So, Snatch Game was different. I really enjoyed this style, actually. I think this is honestly, I think I prefer this to the Snatch Game of Love. I'd be happy if they changed it so, excuse me, normal seasons get regular Snatch Game, and then like All-Star seasons just get Snatch Game Family Fortune style. I mean, why not? I've got like one hair that's like really bugging me today. But yeah, no, I would really enjoy it if they did that. I much prefer the Family Fortune style to the Snatch Game of Love, because it's kind of, oh, okay. And also you kind of get, I don't know, I feel like with the Snatch Game of Love, it's almost like, oh yeah, the winner is whoever gets picked as the Snatcherette they want to go with. And I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I feel like it almost takes the, oh my god, they won sort of thing out. I mean, you usually can tell who's going to win anyway, but it would just be nice to have that like little extra kind of like oh, is it going to be them? I think it should be them. Is it going to be them? Oh. But let's get into... Oh, God, I'm on one today. Before we get into the queens themselves, the runway category this week was Luck Be a Lady. I am not trying to go with this theme. I swear. This is just how I came up looking today after I did my makeup and everything. So... right, let's get into it. So first up we had Baga Chipz. So for Snatch Game, Baga Chipz did Kathy Bates. But as her character from Misery, I was worried when she said that's who she was doing originally, because I was like, is that funny? Can you make that funny? Honestly, really, absolutely blew me away. This was a great week for Baga. Definitely redeemed herself from the 3 weeks of moaning. So hopefully this means that for the rest of the competition, she will be in a better headspace, maybe. I mean, was it next week's like a girl group challenge? I think. So, is it a girl group challenge? I feel like it was a girl group challenge next week. Oh, well, we'll find out next week. So, she absolutely killed it. She kept calling RuPaul Paul. And she had like the Guru book, and she kept like referencing it like it was her favourite book sort of thing, and she was just an obsessive fan. Had me in absolute hysterics. I really enjoyed it. I thought this overall was just a really good, solid week for Baga Chipz. Come to the runway, it was alright. She did a like sort of Irish leprechaun sort of look. I must admit the hair looked good. The outfit was fine. There wasn't anything necessarily bad with the outfit. It very much fitted the category. So yeah, good week for Baga. She did manage to get into the top 2 for the first time this week, but she was safe because she lost the lip sync. I agree that she lost the lip sync, but I also agree that she should have been top 2. I think her and Blu were the best 2 of the week in terms of the challenge, so I'm very happy to see them both in the top. It's nice to see both of our UK queens finally break out of their safe streak. I will say, however, the US queens have still not got any higher than safe. So, yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Moving on, we have our second top 2 contestant of the week, and the winner of the lip sync, we have Blu Hydrangea. So, Blu decided to do Austin Powers, decided to do Mike Myers as Austin Powers, which was quite funny because I do think she managed to get her sort of like mannerisms and like some of the sayings in there quite well. And then she did the smart thing. Partway through, she changed from Austin Powers to Dr. Evil. Must admit, Dr. Evil to me was so much funnier than Austin Powers. You know, she even got the $1 million in. And it was perfect, honestly. I don't think Blu could have done any better. And I think it's nice because she did okay in her season of Snatch Game. And to come in and just do so well this time, I think was just really great to see. It was nice to see Blu's skills evolve to this stage where she can do this and do it really well. So, yeah. Great week for Blu on Snatch Game. Definitely agree that she was the other top 2, and I definitely agree that she won the lip sync. It was Blu's lip sync. Now, on the runway, she again went down the sort of like Irish leprechaun sort of route. She wore a really nice sort of like green dress. I thought it looked really good for her. I mean, it do almost feel like it was sort of like a safe-ish route for her to go because she is Irish, but I still appreciate the look. I thought the look was good. Did really well in Snatch Game. And yeah, she won that lip sync, hands down, in my opinion. I will say, so I felt really bad for Blu in this episode because, you know, I felt like she was very strategic in when she was talking to the queen. She didn't like necessarily say, I'm going to save you, I'm not going to save you sort of thing. She didn't really give off any this is what I'm thinking. You know, even when it came to Pangina, she was like, you know, I've looked up for you for so long, you know, you've been doing really well in this competition. But I also want you to know there is part of me that's thinking of choosing your, like, oh, do I pick her because she's strong competition sort of thing. So I think the thing with Blu, like, and, you know, she did say to Mo at one point, she was like, you know, if, say, next week the positions are reversed, would you send me home? And, you know, Mo was like, you know, if you saved me, I won't send you home next week sort of thing. And Mo's been very real this season. I believe her when she says that. I don't think, considering Blu didn't send Mo home, I don't think if Blu's in the bottom next week and Mo's in the top, I don't think Mo would send Blu home. But, you know, who knows? Who knows if that will even happen next week? We don't. So, yeah. Really strong week for Blu. When she sent Pangina home, though, Blu's face looked like she couldn't... like, it was... Blu's face almost looked like she was like, I don't know whose lipstick I chose. And then she read it out and she was kind of like, that's who I picked. It was literally like a face of, what have I done? And she just looked like she was about to start, like, burst into tears. She looked like she was about to have a panic attack. I just wanted to go up and give Blu a massive hug. I felt really bad for her. I was like, you know, it's okay though. It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure Baga would have picked Pangina to go home. We will find that out in the next episode. But, yeah, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, moving down to Janey, Jacke, I believe is next. So, Janey was originally going to do Tan Mum. I have no idea who that is or anything about them, apart from I'm guessing they're a mum that tans. And then she decided to change to James Charles, I think, who's like a makeup... Is it James Charles? I don't know. Is it? I'm like not down with like the makeup people. But yeah, so she chose to change to like a makeup mogul. Now, I know of this character. I know of their look, and the look that Janey did, yeah, it looked so much like him. It was kind of creepy. But it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all, I will say. Now, her runway look, I liked it. She had like a nice pink dress, you know, and she had the like board behind her to be like casino sort of thing. I will say, for me, nitpicking here, I wish there had been more support for the board, because at the top it was kind of flopping a bit when she was walking, so I would have liked to have seen just a bit more stability, and I think I would have liked the look even better. I don't think I would have had, any problems with the look if there had just been that extra bit of stability. But honestly, from my perspective, if I was playing this game, I probably would go with who I thought did the worst in the challenge. And I think for me, it would be because I'd be like, oh, I don't want to like then end up in the bottom and then be sent home because I did something people would see as shady. So honestly, I love Janey. I think she's an amazing queen, but I probably would have chosen to send her home this episode just based on, you know, how the challenge went. I think she did the worst. Now, from Janey, we move on to Jujubee. So Jujubee actually didn't do too bad this week, and she made a comment in the sort of deliberations that, you know, if this was like any other episode, she would have been safe. And honestly, yeah, I think her Snatch game alone would have saved her and made her safe if we weren't at the point where if you're not in the top, you're in the bottom. So Jujubee decided to do Cher this episode for Snatch Game. Now, as soon as she said she was going to do Cher, I was like, Jujubee? Doing Cher? I was like, can she do Cher? And, you know, she was like, hi, I'm Cher, and things like that. And it was one of those things where I was like, this is so bad that it's good. Like, she had me laughing, and I was sat there going, I really shouldn't be finding this funny, but I find it funny. So yeah, I think she would have been safe. If the runway was a major factor, she wouldn't have been safe. She would have been at the bottom because that runway was terrible. So what she was supposed to be was the cat that has the like golden cat that has the paw that does that. And I mean, the dress had the right colours on. It was a really, really basic dress, but it had the right colours on. But then she just did like a normal face with the normal wig. And I'm like, but at least continue the theme of what it is onto your face. Because I think that was half the problem. Like, no one understood what it was, but it was because, like, she just had a normal face on. Like, as much as she was doing this, you kind of got it after a while, but you're like, oh, but why do you have a normal face? Like, you know, it's not like they're doing a ball and they have to change, like, outfits and makeup. It's literally one look. I felt like it would have gone down better, as much as the dress was still really, really basic and looked really, really cheap. If she had done something different with, like, her face, like her makeup or, like, her hair and stuff like that, and incorporated that into the look overall, I think it would have been better on the runway. But, yeah, the look was just no. And the Snatch game, it's a good thing that it was so bad it was good. Otherwise, I think it would have been, you know, strong reason to send Jujubee home this week again. Moving on from Jujubee to Mo. So, Mo was originally going to do Gordon Ramsay. And I was sat there, I was like, Gordon Ramsay? Really? And then, like, Ru got Mo to do a bit of the voice, or like a bit of Gordon Ramsay. And then Ru was like, so when are you going to do Gordon Ramsay's accent? And it's like, oh, she thought she was doing Gordon Ramsay's accent. It wasn't good. But I mean, it is one of those things, like, everyone thinks they can do a British accent, and it's like, you can't. It's like British accents, like American, like people think they can do American accents. They can't. I can't do an American accent. Hey, I can barely speak English in like British English, so I'm not even going to attempt to do American or an American accent because I can barely speak. So, but RuPaul said that it would probably be a good idea to do someone more like maybe Billy Porter, someone closer to them. And Mo changed to Billy Porter. Now, I do feel like Mo very much embodied the character of, well, embodied Billy Porter. She did a good job. It wasn't necessarily funny, but she at least did a good job. Whereas Janey and Pangina were shaky. Now, Mo's look on the runway, now this was show-stopping. Now, she came out with these massive wings, and, you know, the lights went down, and her outfit lit up after. She was like, oh, you know, it's cute when girls say, oh, my outfit lights up. And then the lights went down, her outfit lit up, and you're like, damn, that is an outfit that lights up. It was really good. I loved it so much. It was one of my favourite looks of the week. It was amazing. And the thing is, even without the lights going down, you could still see the lights on the outfit and that they were lit up and that, whereas you can't usually when other people do that, say like Ginger Minge. Oh, no, I don't want to like take my eyelash off. I just want to get the hair out. So yeah, I think she did a really good job with the outfit. I mean, Mo's been slaying the runway. It's just in the challenges she's been a bit... I mean, she's not been bad. She's not just been, like, really, really good. So I'm hoping maybe next week with the girl group challenge she'll be able to pick it up. I mean, obviously she didn't do so well in the girl group challenge on All Stars 4. But that was more with, like, the look and sort of thing, because her lyrics were fine, and, you know, she sounded great, but Mo's got a great voice, so we'll see what happens next week. I would like to see her be able to redeem herself from All Stars 4 and the girl group challenge, especially considering we've only got 2 episodes left now. So we'll have the girl group challenge next week, and then like a top 4 remix sort of thing, like they usually do. So, yeah. Fingers crossed next week's Mo's week to be in the top. At this rate, unless Jujubee gets in the top next week, Jujubee's going to have no wins. And honestly, I'm a bit kind of like, well, she's been kind of just doing a bit this entire season, so I'm not sure if she's going to get a win this season. Let's move on to our final queen of the week, our dearly, dearly departed Pangina Hills. Now, Pangina was my front runner. Pangina was the one I was rooting to win. Jimbo was a close second, so when Jimbo went, I was like, okay, well, definitely all on Pangina now. Now Pangina's been eliminated, so I think Blu's my one to win at this point. I'll back a UK queen. It's not because she's the UK queen that I'm backing her. I just think she's consistently been doing well, and she's not fallen into the bottom. And you know, now she's won a challenge, so and a lip sync. So you know, yeah, why not? Now, going into this week's episode, I was worried for Pangina because I was like, I've not seen her do anything like Snatch Game. I don't know how well she's going to be able to do. And she picked to do Mariah Carey. Now, Mariah's a tough one. You know, I think Mariah's like one of those people, sort of like Beyonce and like Gaga. It's like maybe should not be picked for Snatch Game ever. So, yeah, I was worried for her. Thing is, she wasn't terrible. I wouldn't say she was the worst. She got some, like, references in there to Mariah and stuff like that. So, it wasn't terrible. And it just wasn't that funny. So, and then it came to the runway, and she did... I loved her runway look. I will say, because she had, like, a slot machine, and it was great. But it was kind of, like, just sort of there, and you kind of lost her shape a bit in it from the front. So I would have liked it if maybe it had been able to be more proportionate to like a body sort of thing, like carved into a silhouette or something. Would have been cool. But I loved the bit where she got to the end of the runway and like her jackpot was hit and she had coins coming out of her and everything. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely loved Pangina this season. I'm hoping so much that in the last episode they'll at least bring all the queens back in like their finale looks. I think that'd be great. So fingers crossed for that. I am really sad to see Pangina go. It was so hard to watch her leave because she went into like an almost like full-blown panic attack. Like she was just sobbing, and I completely get why she was doing it. I mean, you know, she's a co-host and she's been eliminated. She was the only one there representing for Thailand. You know, she probably had the weight of the world on her shoulders for that. And, you know, she was doing so well. So, you know, to then be sent home, it was so heartbreaking. It was very reminiscent of when Rock'em Sakura got eliminated from season 12. You know, with the crying all the way backstage. The only difference is this one continued. So, like, even when we went back after Pangina had, like, written her message and everything, we went back to the main stage. And RuPaul was doing the whole, you know, everybody say love, let the music. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anyone else? Now, can I get an amen and let the music play? You could still hear Pangina sobbing throughout that entirety, and it was so heartbreaking to hear. Like, I wanted to give her a hug. I wanted to give Blu a hug. It was such a sad like moment to watch, but. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like Blu's front running at the moment now because she's not been in the bottom, she's just won her first challenge. Baga hasn't been in the bottom and she's just got, I mean, she's not got a repeater badge, but, you know, she actually made it to the top 2. Mo's been safe this entire time and now is the first time not safe. Janey's been doing okay, but now, you know, she's had a couple times, she's been in the bottom once. She's been in, the top twice. She won one of those. She didn't win the other lip sync. And now she was up for elimination again. And Jujubee's in last, like, the queen's remaining. Because she's just been, like, pretty much bottom every week apart from week 1. So, yeah, I think Blu's my one to win. Quick note back to Blu, seeing as I'm talking about her at the moment. One of the best things about this episode was when Blu got announced a winner and she did her own music to getting a repeater badge. She said them, "Oh, Britannia." It was just so cute to see. I was like, oh, Blue, of course you'd do that. But yeah, it's nice to see her get a repeater badge, and it's, you know, one that she's kind of earned on herself. Like, because in season 1 of UK Drag Race, she got a repeater badge. It was for the Frock Destroyers, which, you know, yeah, it was a great challenge, and she did the thing in that challenge. But it was still a group win. Like, 3 of them got badges, so it's nice to see her get one by herself. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen next week, considering what's happened the last 2 weeks and, you know, what's been happening every week pretty much in this season. It's been a whirlwind. So, 2 more episodes left, probably 1 more elimination, and then we'll get our top 4. And, yeah, I don't know who's going to win. It's going to be interesting. Let me know down below, who are you rooting for? And while you're down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you lovely people next time. See ya! Bye!